Previously on this show. He's escaped from Joey Juice Mannix.
Ouch.
That's a one-stroke penalty.
Choke.
Let's get it on.
It's The Spotlight from their former home studio at the MNN El Barrio Firehouse in New York. He is the independent Green Party candidate who ran for New York City Council District 22. Edwin DeJesus Jr. is here to discuss why he chose to run for New York City Council even while continuing to direct, produce, and screenwrite for short films and other television productions. And Edwin is giving a spotlight flashback with David and his performance in the role that made David's passions come true throughout the TV and film industry. David Martinez is the Great Griffin.
Not now, Heather. I'm busy.
Now, let's get it on and get this spotlight party started. Coming to you from the George C. Stoney studio at the MNN El Barrio Firehouse Community Media Center in New York.
Hello, and welcome to The Spotlight. I'm David Martinez, and we have a great show for you today. We usually have our Hot Topics segments, but we're going to take a little break from that today. We are coming to you from our old home, which is the MNN El Barrio Firehouse Studios, where we first started The Spotlight 5 years ago. We are doing a month-long show from here just to revisit our old home. This week, we are pleased to have one of my great friends that I go back to high school with, that helped me land in a short film that changed my life in getting me started to where I am today. Plus, you'll get an exclusive look at the entire short film I starred in. I'll tell you more coming up. We'll get started in just a moment. We'll be right back. As an independent filmmaker, I go way back to high school with him, and he is one of the reasons that changed my life. He went from an independent filmmaker to running for office as a Green Party independent candidate for New York City Council District 22 in Queens County, New York. I'm pleased to say that he is still doing filmmaking, producing, and directing, and I'm also pleased that he is here on set. And it makes me so glad to say, please welcome the one and only Eddie DeJesus Jr.
Hey, David. Thank you for that excellent introduction. It has. It's been years.
I know. It's been years for when from high school, like the last year, it was like that was the last year of high school, it was just lit. I'm just so thankful for that here. But we'll talk about the film in just a moment because I wanted to talk to you about what the transition from you going from filmmaking and into politics. Tell us about that here.
Sure. So after high school and after graduating college, I was working in the film industry as a production assistant. Mm-hmm. And then one day I attended a Bernie Sanders rally in Queensbridge where I met with some of his staffers. And I ended up getting a job for Senator Sanders as a national advance man for his campaign. Mm-hmm. So I went around the country hosting town halls and rallies for Senator Sanders as he was running for president. Mm-hmm. That came to a crushing halt Well, there's a couple of reasons, but one of the biggest was coronavirus hit
Yes.
in March, and we were sent home, and that changed everything. So the senator lost, we were all stuck at home, and as you know, it was a pretty terrible time. There was a lot of suffering, a lot of people getting ill and dying.
Right.
And 1/3 of those people could have lived if they had health insurance. But due to a lack of health care, whether it be uninsured or underinsured, a lot of people died that didn't have to die.
Yeah, because I remember something about with Bernie Sanders where some sort of health issue occurred with about his heart, and that's where he couldn't cooperate. That's why he couldn't make it into the presidential race, if I'm correct.
Actually, he did get a stint in his heart, and he was able
Right.
to campaign afterwards.
Right.
So I was working with him after that occurred.
Yes.
But when he lost, I felt the need to carry the torch in a sense and bring his movement to a local race here in Astoria, Queens, where I could run for city council under similar ideas.
Yes, and you chose to run in like the Green Party. So why the Green Party versus the Democratic and the Republican Party?
Yes, that's correct. I ran as an independent Green, and the reason for that is because Governor Cuomo actually kicked off all the third parties off the ballots in 2020. So to run as a Green, you had to actually run as an independent, which means you had to get even more signatures than the Democrats and Republicans and less support in general. And so I chose to run under a third party because if you look at the way that the system is now,
Yes.
there's obviously two parties that have control of our political system, which is exactly what George Washington warned us about. Because both parties, even though they have some pretty substantial cultural differences, both take money from the same ultra-wealthy donors. In the
Yes.
end, they're still subservient to those donors who come from the military-industrial complex, the big pharmaceutical companies, Wall Street, the fossil fuel industry, and pretty much every other bad institution you can think of are the people giving them money. So when they win, they have to in turn listen to those people instead of the ordinary 9-to-5 working class paycheck to paycheck person like my mother, for example.
Yes, but from the results about that here, because it seems like the Green Party, if you're trying to improve the Green Party, because I'm looking at the results where a lot of people from District 22 voted Democrat here for Tiffany Caban, but you only got 5.9% of the votes, and I remember hearing that you were really upset about that, and it's just what was going through your mind, and what was going on here? And
well, a lot of people are used to having to vote for one of these two parties because it's become some sort of long-term tradition. My goal was to change that. I thought that if I could win or come very close to winning, that it would inspire people to think twice when they go to the ballot box and vote their conscience instead of voting strategically because they don't want to spoil the vote. When now in New York City we have ranked choice voting, so spoilers are no longer a problem in primaries, but in general elections where you have more than one party, there still is no ranked choice voting. If we can get ranked choice voting in general elections or have open primaries, then we can have the opportunity to elect these third-party candidates who can represent more than just the interests of these two parties who, again, are big supporters of war, big supporters of subsidies for the banks stemming from 2008, which is why even today we have all this inflation because the money supply was increased to subsidize all of the ultra-wealthy people. Meanwhile, people like you and I now have to pay $5 for a bacon, egg, and cheese when it used to be $3.50 just a year ago.
Well, I think some places are still charging $3.50 or nowadays, but it depends on which store you go to here in New York City, because there's still places that I've been to that still charge less than $5 for a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, or no matter what meat you put in, whether if it's sausage or ham, or if you just have none of those on there, it'll be just less, just egg and cheese here. But some days it just varies here. But but it's just looking at it, was there anything that you could have did better to change the numbers to get more votes, and maybe you would have won last year in the general election for New York City Council District 22? Or
Yeah.
what was one thing you could have done to like improve and even going forward here?
Well, looking back, there are a lot of things that we could have done differently. Most candidates do door knocking, but in the middle of a pandemic where people are scared to come into contact with you, that's a little difficult to do. Also, I think just getting our name out there was a big issue. Now that it's out there and some people have heard about, who I am, what our campaign stands for and voted, all they have to do is tell 5 or 6 friends to come show up on the next election day when I run for office again, and that might be enough to bring us over the finish line.
What's your future seeing? Do you think you'll make it to the top here? Or because I could see it could be a result where we may have an independent candidate, but I don't know what the status quo could be. But what do you think could be the result if you choose to run again and continue fighting?
Yeah, well, the majority of Americans do support a third party. They don't feel represented by either the Democrat nor Republican parties. So I think it's only a matter of time that the next younger, newer generations of people come out and vote for candidates who actually will fight for the working class instead of fighting for the ruling elites.
Right. Okay. Well, could you mind just sticking around with us? Time just goes so quick, but I got more to talk with you about this, and especially I want to talk about that film that you helped me get along, that changed my life and everything else. But so don't go anywhere. We'll have more with Eddie DeJesus Jr. We'll be right back. We are back with Edwin DeJesus Jr., the producer, director, and writer of The Great Griffin, and also the former candidate for New York City Council District 22. Well, before we get into The Great Griffin, because I had more questions I wanted to get involved in, just bring up with you about, about your involvement with politics. But I read something about, I want to get your views on something here, because where actor Tim Robbins had posted a tweet about the new COVID-19 guidelines here, and they showed the guidelines about those expected to the virus are no longer required to quarantine. Unvaccinated people will have the same guidelines as vaccinated ones. Students can stay in class after being exposed to the virus, and it's no longer recommended. And you made the tweet replying saying that the best decision I ever made was not voting for Biden. What made you say that statement, and why?
Yeah, so a vote is a precious human right, and everyone who is a citizen and can vote needs to exercise it thoughtfully. But every election year, we're kind of given these promises that never come to fruition. For example, what was promised were $2,000 stimulus checks if we got a Democratic control of the Congress. But what ended up happening? They skimped us short and only gave us $1,400. The same thing happens every single year, and it just goes to show that no matter how much you protest, if you're still going to vote the same way at the end of the day, then you're showing that you're willing to go along with those broken promises. Until you actually withhold your vote, then they will start to listen and actually do things that benefit working people. So another example that would affect today's generation of voters, right, would be the student loan forgiveness. Already they're trying to walk that back and say that some people, millions of students, won't be qualified for it. But they're doing it right before a midterm election to get votes. Right? So that shouldn't be the way that things are. I'm glad that I voted for Howie Hawkins, who was the Green Party presidential candidate, because he actually ran on Medicare for all. He actually said healthcare is a human right. Joe Biden disagreed with that. And I can't vote for someone who doesn't view people having affordable insulin, for example, as a human right. That goes against my own moral views.
Yes. Now about the healthcare thing, because a few months ago, the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade here, and it was really just a shock to everyone. But what is your view on that? And when you heard about this, what were you thinking, and did you agree with that decision? with the overturn of Roe versus Wade?
Yeah, I would say that I disagree with that decision because I do think that every person in this country should have the right over their own bodies and that the government should have zero control over what people can and can't do medically. And that goes beyond just abortion. I think that should apply to everything from abortion to vaccinations to car ownership to gun ownership. I think the less that we have government intervening in our lives, that the better our own happiness will be.
So so if abortion gets like overturned back to how it was before the Supreme Court messed it up in June here, then what would be your reaction if that would be the case?
If they didn't overturn it?
Like, yeah, before, basically, if they put into like a legislation law to...
If they codified Roe v. Wade? Well, that was something that the Democrats could have done when Obama was president and had control of the House and the Senate, and he didn't do it. And right now, who's in control? The Democrats, again, of the House and the Senate.
Yeah.
So...
But it's like split 50-50 with the House and the Senate, because that's the thing here we got to be careful of here. But there's only like one independent, which probably Bernie Sanders, as we mentioned, if he's still there.
Yeah, well, he votes mostly in line with the Democrats. So Kamala Harris is the tie-breaking vote when it comes to Senate. The reason that they never codified Roe v. Wade, and this is going to be a very uncomfortable truth, is because they can keep fundraising off of it every year. So the more that they can say, we need your money so that we can protect your abortion rights, they're doing that so that they can keep, it's almost like putting a carrot in front of the donkey example, where it's like, well, if you just keep giving us money, maybe we'll fight for it. But every time that they're in power and have full control, they drop the ball, and that's done intentionally, in my view. So
you're basically saying you're not really happy with the way things have been going between Biden and Harris so far, ever since they've been in office, right?
Well, ever since they've been in office, we're at the precipice of World War III, so I don't think it's going very well, to be quite honest.
But they have done some good things so far, but it just takes time, though. But, you know.
It could, but a lot of the fighting is in between members of their own party. It's not so much that the Republicans are halting everything, it's that Joe Manchin, who's just the rotating villain, at the time, is the one who's stopping things. But even if it wasn't Joe Manchin, they would find another Democrat to be the so-called opposition force, because that's the way that they keep fundraising, is because they have a perpetual person to blame and won't refuse to take responsibility for their own actions.
Right. I'm sorry, Joe Manchin. He's making me sick already here. But, you know, listen, enough of this politics, but now we know how you got into it. I wanted us to talk about the film that really changed my life and that got you a whole lot of the Great Griffin Awards, because I remember going back from like 7 years ago or so about everything else. So, but you know, you went, because there was a lot going on when you had to go through the casting and when you casted me. Like, tell us like about the process of creating this film, basically, and why you chose to create it.
Well, this was a high school project done completely outside of the curriculum. We went to the Academy for Careers in Television and Film, which has a better film program than I think the majority of universities in this country has in terms of equipment, instruction, etc.
And it's like the only high school here in New York City, as far as I know so far.
There's nothing like it, I think, in the country.
Right.
It is an unprecedented program. I think it's very overlooked because it's been around for only like 15 years. And so I thought, you know, while I'm here, let's take advantage and make a big movie. And so from start to finish, from writing the script to casting you and the other actors, to organizing all of the logistics and schedules and getting all of the equipment and crew to operate the equipment, and then all the way into post-production with the editing process and distributing it to film festivals, we're looking at a time span of over 2 years and daily effort every single day, you know, from morning till night outside of class to get this project shot and completed.
Yeah, it was, and I know for a fact it wasn't easy or difficult in doing this, if I'm correct, right?
I do think it was a pretty difficult project to pull off. I mean, we had hundreds of student extras that we were pulling from gym class every day to be a part of this film. So it was a big logistical nightmare, but we got through it.
Well, listen, I can't wait to see this encore of that film, even though I've seen it several times, but I want to give the viewers a chance to see it for themselves, if you're okay with it, those who have not seen it. Shall we?
Yeah, take a look.
Well, all right, let's take a look. Listen, when we get back, we are gonna show you the film that really started it all. So in the meantime, stay right where you are. If you wanna grab some popcorn going during the break, do it fast because we're coming back with the great Griffin. We'll be back.
Don't go anywhere because you're about to see the short film that made David an upcoming star. David Martinez is the Great Griffin. Next. This is a Spotlight movie presentation.
Hey, this is Sally. Sorry I can't get to the phone right now, but if you leave your name and phone number, I'll call you back. Bye!
Hi, Sally. It's me, Griffin. I'm just checking in again, making sure you're okay, you're safe. I'm wondering if you would like to go to the spring dance with me, since, you haven't answered my last 24 messages. Yeah, I just assumed you hadn't gotten those, since it would be really rude to ignore so many messages. You're too nice to do that. You're too perfect. And by the way, just know that you're too good for your boyfriend. He doesn't deserve to have someone like you. Maybe you could try being with a good guy like me. Oh well, I hope you're okay. Call me back. Love you. Bye. My name is Eugene J. Griffin, and I'm crazy in love with Sally Parks. Sometimes, I prefer to conduct my hygienic maintenance with the confines of the school, only because it brings me one step closer to Sally. I wouldn't consider myself a very good-looking guy. Well, at least that's what the women tell me. My looks have given me many enemies. Old friends. Teachers. And worst of all, my number one bully. He's the douchiest, backsliding, bastard, degenerate, low-life douche of them all. Joey Juice Mannix, aka Sally's cliche jockey boyfriend.
Lick my left nut, Griffin!
I hate kids with goddamn superiority complexes. Ah, my future wife. Look at the way she smiles, the way she lives, unknowingly of me, my lust, my self-pity. Ah, one day, Griffin, one day.
What a load of bollocks, Griffin. You don't have what it takes to get a gal like that. You'd have to be a superhero. Why, you're just a bloody wanker. You can't impress her.
What do you know? You're a poster for Christ's sake.
And you're the psychopath who's talking to one, imbecile.
Oh, shut up. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. I almost forgot to mention that Sally's dog had passed away Sunday night at approximately 7:03 p.m., giving Sally a full 4 hours and 27 minutes of solitary grieving before falling asleep at her bedtime. I had to make sure I expressed my condolences. Hi, Sally. I heard your dog Spotty died last night. I'm really sorry for your loss.
How do you know about Spotty, Griffin?
I saw it on Facebook.
I don't have you added as a friend.
Do you want to hear a joke about death?
Okay.
What's the difference between sex and death?
I don't know.
Death you can do alone, and nobody laughs at you.
I don't get it.
Well, see, if you do sex alone, you...
Wait, Willie! Why are you talking about having sex with my girlfriend, Griffin? She would never have sex with you. No one in their right mind would ever have sex with you. Right, Sally Parks? You know what? I got something for you. Why don't you take this and cover up your ugly? Let's get out of here, Sally Parks. Nobody wants to see this gay kid cry.
I really wish I could tell if Sally likes me or not. Women can be so infamous for their mixed signals sometimes.
It's 'cause you're fat and gay. Girls don't choose the nice guys. And you're a nice guy. But you're fat and gay. Why don't girls see the inside? Oh, they do. And they see.
I don't want to leave you anymore. I've been alone so much.
There's no such thing as the friend zone.
You can't die. You're too brave to die.
The only reason that you're lonely is 'cause you're fat and gay.
A brave girl.
There's no such thing as the friend zone, friend zone. The only reason that you're lonely is 'cause you're fat and gay. Do you know why you're lonely? It's 'cause you're fat and gay. Girls don't.
This has to be a trap. Do I really have much to lose? Okay, just to clarify, you apparently don't know me despite the fact that you know everything there is about me?
I have been watching you for a very long time now, Griffin. I have seen your many attempts to have the sexy sex with Miss Sally Parks. It is a struggle, I know. Women can be infamous for their mixed signals sometimes.
Exactly.
Fortunately for you, you have been chosen by the unknowable creator Bande to read the human mind through the spiritual world. You will know everything that Miss Sally Parks is thinking in her sweet little mind. Then you will know for sure if she truly likes you or not. As long as you make eye contact with her or anyone else, you may engage in temporary mind-reading abilities. Do you sound interested?
Do you need my credit card info?
We can worry about that later. For right now, all I need you to do is repeat after me. Are you ready?
Can I use the bathroom first?
Silence! Close your eyes and repeat after me. Misir, Masal, Makul, Masi, Masi.
Okay. Here I go. Semen Kiam Jimpia Gris Akma Mase Mase. Was that right? Hello, did I say that right?
Griffin, can you tell me the importance of the Gadsden purchase?
Wait, what?
Griffin!
Yes, Mrs. Cox?
I asked what the importance of the Gadsden purchase was.
Wasn't that the peace treaty that ended the War of 1812 between the United States and Great Britain to restore status quo ante bellum?
Good guess. Good guess. Unfortunately, that was the Treaty of Goddamn Ghent, you uncultured inbred.
Drink my nut juice, Griffin!
Teach these children anymore. All of you better take a lesson from this. Griffin here wants to waste our time when we are trying to learn something about U.S. history. Now, back to the Gadsden purchase. The Gadsden purchase, Griffin,
Mrs. Cox is such a cow.
Griffin? Did I hear what I think I just heard?
I didn't say anything!
Do not play games with me, kid. Just because you're gonna be a failure like your father doesn't mean you can come into my class and just say whatever you want, okay? You better watch your back. Just because you're not gonna go to college doesn't mean you can come in here and ruin my whole lesson. If you start messing with me again, you're gonna go to the principal's office. Do you hear me? Relax, Cox. It's okay. Take a deep breath. It's gonna be okay. 15 more minutes, and then you can get out of here, and you don't have to teach these kids anymore. Okay. Now, where was I? The Gadsden purchase.
This is impossible. I wasn't talking out loud. How was she able to intercept my thought process? None of what I dreamed about was real, and even if it was, that wasn't the spell I was promised. Have I been deceived? Did it backfire because I pronounced the words wrong?
Griffin! How many times are you going to keep mumbling to yourself like a sociopath? Get out of my classroom! No! Now!
This is bullcrap. This is definitely all in my head. Nobody has the ability to hear my thoughts. That's absurd. That woman was just a mere dream, a fabrication built off some twisted memories prior to my nap. Whoa, Mama. I would love to take a nap on those puppies.
Ew, you creep! Someone help! Griffin's sexually harassing me! Oh my god! Ah!
Shh! You crazy! Shh!
Help! Get away from me!
Lunchtime is always a period of loneliness for me. However, today is exceptionally worse. I've gained yet another weakness to my dismal life, and I have no one to share it with. Not even these dogs. I'm so vulnerable. A split second of eye contact is all I need to expose myself to others. The only thing I can look forward to now is this lunch.
Who the hell did this?
Quit your damn whining and give us the damn ball!
Screw you, Juice! Screw you! Screw you! Screw you! I hate you! I swear to God! I will crush you, you savage! You don't deserve Sally's love! I do!
Let's be real, Griffin. You're a nobody. Actually, scratch that. You're pretty well known around here, but the only reason that's true is because it's so hard to forget a face that drop-dead ugly. Now look, I know you get your little panties in a bunch every time me and my boys have something to say to you, and I accept that. But I need you to listen real close to what I'm about to say to you. I don't want you anywhere near my girlfriend. I don't want you to talk to her. I don't want you to look at her. I don't even want you to think about her. And if I see you doing any of those things, well, let's just say it's gonna be a little bit more than a black eye.
Yo, Juice, what are you doing over there, man? Can we play?
Shut up! Now, repeat after me. I understand, Juice. I understand.
I understand, Juice! I understand!
Good. Now leave.
I sure showed him. I have to pick on other people's insecurities in order to feel better about my own. I'm not good enough for Sally. I'm the one who's fat and gay.
Yeah, shut up!
I'm the one who's fat and gay.
Stop
I'm
it!
the one who's fat and gay.
Yeah, I just don't have to sit this one out. What are you looking at?
I'm the one who's fat and gay.
Be it!
I sure got him this time. That bastard is mine now. I'm gonna crush Juice like the insect he is. I got all this power now. It's my turn to put Juice in hell.
This is an abuse of power, Griffin. I don't like it. A gift from the Haitian god. That's a serious matter.
I was only using it for my self-defense. You can't tell me that's wrong. Who are you?
You went too far, Griffin. Thinking in another person's thoughts, mimicking their consciousness. My apologies, Griffin, but you are an incompetent loser.
Screw you, you idiotic paperhead poster! I hate you too! Die!
How am I ever supposed to save others if I can't even save myself? Sally? What happened? Who did this to you?
It was Juice. I saw him taking pills before gym class yesterday and I yelled at him for cheating. He's been so crazy with his training that all because some NCAA scout is going to be watching him at his big game tomorrow. If Juice wins, he'll get a full scholarship to play basketball at UCLA, but he can never lose. He's such a sore loser. All me and him do is fight every day and
Say no more, Miss Sally Parks. I know how to save you.
can't do anything. Griffin, you're fat and gay.
Unfortunately, she's right. I'm no superhero.
How the hell are you talking about moving your lips, you freak?
Oh, it's a cool trick I learned back then, yeah.
Well, there's your superpower. Why don't you run around and call yourself the Great Griffin or something? God!
Great Griffin? Great Griffin. It's all so clear now. This power is given to me for a purpose. I have been waiting for this. Here's a man who would not take it anymore. Here's a man who would stand up for the weak. Maybe I am destined to be a lonely loser. But what Sally doesn't know is that I was chosen. Chosen by the Haitian god himself. I am, after all, the great Griffin.
Pardon the interruption. Will Joey Mannix please report to the principal's office? Repeat, will Joey Mannix
The hell
please
did I do
report
this
to the
to?
principal's office?
Of course. Jackpot. No wonder they call him Juice.
The last time, Joseph, I didn't call you on the PA.
Alright, whatever, old man.
No way. Sally's in for a big surprise. Shh! Not now, Heather. I'm busy.
I was wondering if you wanted to go to the Cosplay Club talent show. There's live guests, including Kitsukio from Attack on Titan and Luffy from One Piece.
Those people aren't real, Heather. Now go away. You're blowing my cover.
Are you saying this is in your locker? Whose locker is it? Is that a copy of Brokeback Mountain?
See you at tomorrow's big game, Juice. Show Hunter's Point how it's done.
When I do, I'll be thinking of you, Sugar Tits.
Do you really want me to come to the talent show or not? And follow me. When I leave here, you mustn't tell a single soul that you saw me. Got it?
Whoa! Are you doing that telepathy thing like Professor X? Can you show me how to do that?
One day, Heather. One day. Now go. Run! Alright, Juice. Let's get it on.
Beat it, nerd.
Stay calm, Juice. It's only the most important shot of your life.
What? Airball! Airball!
Oh, so close.
Hey! It's not freaking funny! If any of you have something to say, say it in my goddamn face! Who the hell has the ball right now?
Scott! Over here, Juice. Over here.
I don't remember the school having some gay-ass mascot. Hey, why do you keep watching me play? You're or something? Huh? Who the hell are you anyway?
Your worst nightmare. Got him.
Listen, Griffin, I don't know why or how the hell you're doing this to me, but the second I find your gay ass, I'm gonna beat the out of it.
Speaking about gay asses, Juice, do you prefer to be submissive or dominant?
What the hell are you talking about?
There's nothing wrong about this, Joseph. You don't have to lie to me or to Sally.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't lie to anyone. You went through my locker, you little shit. Where are you? Well, if you're so tough, why don't you just come out here and fight me?
Well, if you insist.
What? Really?
Good afternoon, TVA! How are y'all doing tonight? We're a Catholic club, and we're here to perform our little song and dance that we like to call the Carmel Dancing. It's like this really awesome thing. It's like. See, once you hear it, you're gonna love it. It's like the best song ever, to be honest, other than like a lot of happy music.
Trying to sabotage me?
I also say that.
Why do you do this, Griffin? Is it for my ugly ass girlfriend?
Not ugly. She's the most beautiful girl in the world. She'll leave you when she finds out you're a gay steroid abuser.
I'll kill you before anyone finds out that I'm a steroid abuser, let alone that I'm gay.
Got him. Got him again.
Juice is a liar!
Game, set, and match. Run this school. It's not easy being a hero. As Uncle Ben once said, with great power comes great responsibility.
Hey, Sally. There's something you should know about Juice. Juice is
Gay? Gay? I know. I saw the magazines way before you did. Besides, I don't care if he was gay. He was the hottest guy in the school. Now you ruined me, you ruined my life, and you ruined my reputation. All because you had to take him away from me.
How did I ruin your life and your social status? Didn't Juice brutally abuse you recently?
That was only once. Drop it already. All I ever wanted was for someone to love and cherish me for who I really am.
But I love you, Sally. I love you with all my heart.
You're a freak!
Charlie Brown once said, "Nothing takes the taste out of peanut butter quite like unrequited love." And although I'm allergic to peanut butter, this saying stands to be true. The superpowers, they never actually matter. A true hero has always resided within me. And Sally? Well, Sally hates my guts to the very core. And you know what? She has a reason too. I've been trying so hard my entire high school life to make her succumb to my needs, when really, she needs to be the hero of her own story. This school needs me. This city needs me. More than I need myself. This is a time of new beginnings. Both good and bad. A new chapter of my life means new people, new conflicts, and new resolutions. I will admit though, every superhero does need a sidekick. But that's just it. I'm not a hero. I'm the Great Griffin. Not now, Heather. I'm busy saying my monologue. Hey, we are still here with Eddie DeJesus Jr., and we hope you enjoy that short film presentation of The Great Griffin. The crew enjoyed it, and so, a lot has changed, since creating that film to now here, and you and I were talking over before the show here, where you're trying to recreate The Great Griffin. You want to tell us a little more about that?
That's true. I'm writing a rebooted version of The Great Griffin with a completely different storyline that's going to involve, hopefully, yourself, if you would like to be the role again.
Eddie, I'd be happy to do it.
Okay.
Because that I enjoyed it so much and had a lot of fun on set. I'd be happy to do it.
Great, yeah. Well, this is going to be a much more mature version. As you know, that was high school 7 years ago. So we have a lot more experience and skills in our toolkit now. So the next one, I think, is going to be very, very well professionally done.
I can't wait for that. And you know what? On that note, I wish time just goes so quick. It's been a pleasure, Eddie. Thank you so much here. Our special thanks to Edwin DeJesus Jr. for being here. You are welcome here anytime here. Hopefully, just keep me posted on the new updated Great Griffin. And in the meantime, we want you all to have a great week. Good luck, be well, be safe. Continue to express yourself and keep it 100. See you on the spotlight. This is the best episode ever done here.